Motivation comes so easily at the beginning of a project, doesn't it? But when things invariably get hard, motivation tanks, and that's when most people quit. So how can we push through to the finish line once that initial motivation wears off? You're going to reconnect with your why. For the best low-content publishing advice, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell so that you can get notified every time I put out one of these videos every Monday. So in the beginning, when you're first starting something new, it is really easy to be motivated. That motivation comes fast and it comes easy. You're filled with energy, you're filled with new hope. It suddenly feels like your wildest dreams actually have a chance of becoming reality. And this is a super, super exciting time. But what happens next? Usually things start to get hard and they suddenly become a lot more difficult than we anticipated them to become. You start experiencing challenges and obstacles, and things just take a lot longer than you thought they were going to take. And now you are in the middle of the messy middle. And that is when your motivation really starts to fade. And, you might start to self-doubt. You might start to wonder why you're even doing any of this at all in the first place. And this really is about the time where most people will just end up quitting a project. They start to lose hope. Suddenly those big dreams that they have, they start feeling further and further away again. And really when that motivation has gone, it is just so easy to just either decide to quit or not even intentionally decide to quit. You just start pursuing that project a little bit less. You start procrastinating, putting it off. Days go by, weeks go by, months go by. And then without even realizing that you've decided to quit, you have quit. So this is something that happens to all of us. And I think just knowing that each one of us experiences this, I think sometimes that's just reassuring in and of itself. Sometimes it can seem when we're looking around at everybody else's journey that they, set a goal, they go after it, they achieve it. But why are we getting stuck? Why are we in the midst of all these struggles and challenges? Why is it so hard for us to achieve our dreams? So I think just realizing that we're not alone in those feelings, that anyone who's ever succeeded with anything, they've all had to go through and endure this messy middle portion of the process. I think that alone can be really, that can really help us to get through and not feel so alone, and just to accept it as part of the process. But that's all great insight to have, but what can we actually do about it? So the biggest thing I would suggest when you're in the messy middle, when motivation starts to fade, self-doubt creeps in, and you're wondering why you're even doing this in the first place, is to ask yourself that exact question. Why are you doing this in the first place? What is your why? So you might want to first start off with just asking, is this something that I really want in the first place? Sometimes we set goals, getting into shape is a good one. But it's not enough that we get in shape. We want to have, 12% body fat, or, we want to be able to fit into a size 2 or whatever it is. So we need to ask ourselves, is that what we really want? And oftentimes, if we just don't want something bad enough, we're just not going to go for it. And that's totally fine. So your first step is determining, is this something that you even want to begin with? If the answer is yes, then now's the time to ask yourself why. Why do you want that? Why is it important to reach this particular goal? Are you trying to reach a financial goal? Are you trying to create freedom in your life? Do you want to create more time for your family? Is it about reaching your human potential? Is it about spending more time with your kids? Are you trying to save for college for one of your children? Is it your retirement fund that you're trying to pad out or even start? Once you know why you're doing something, it's a lot easier to keep going with it. Do any of those whys that I just mentioned resonate with you? Leave a comment in the comments below and let me know what your why is. Let me know what the goal is that you're trying to strive for and what is your why. Why do you have to achieve that goal? The next thing you need to get clear on is what's at stake if you don't achieve this goal. So for me, my why was, I had a bunch of whys, a lot of them I just mentioned, but I really wanted to live a life of freedom. I wanted to live on my own terms. I didn't want to work for anyone else. I wanted to be able to create my own hours, and I wanted to be paid what I felt was fair. I didn't want someone else determining how much I got paid. I also wanted the opportunity to stay home and raise children if I wanted to do that. So these were some of my motivations when I first decided that I wanted to leave the 9 to 5 and pursue my own online business. Now, for me, what was at stake if I didn't achieve that goal? Well, for me, it was just a soul-sucking feeling having to get up in the morning and go and work for someone else for some predetermined dollar amount that, in my opinion, wasn't worth the work that I was doing. And my autonomy was at stake. My freedom was at stake. The ability to take time off whenever I wanted to, that was at stake. So you need to know what exactly you're going to be giving up if you decide to ditch this goal. What is at stake? Now, once you're clear on those things, once you're clear on if you really want to do this, why do you want to do this, and what's at stake if you don't achieve this goal, you want to write this stuff down and you want to keep it handy. And I really recommend either reading it daily every morning when you're doing your morning routine, whatever that might be, or you might want to actually write it out. This is something that I used to do quite a bit. I've fallen off the wagon a little bit, but when I first started out with publishing and I wanted to make $100,000 in whatever year it was, I think 2017, I wrote that out every single day. I will earn $100,000 from publishing books on the KDP platform by publishing whatever it was, 40 books a month or whatever it was. I had that written out and, I listed the reason why I wanted to do it. And I wrote that thing down every single morning. And when you do that, it just really becomes ingrained. And that goal, that motivation, it just becomes a part of you, becomes a part of who you are. And it just becomes an intrinsic motivator that just allows you to keep going when things get tough, because they absolutely, no question, will. So the final thing I want to leave you here with is don't do this alone. It's really, really helpful to surround yourself with like-minded people that either A, have already achieved the goal that you're trying to achieve, or B, they've got their own goals that they're trying to achieve, and you guys can just encourage one another and, egg each other on. You really need to, if you can, avoid spending time with people that don't support you in your goals or try to dissuade you from achieving your goals, or maybe, tell you that you're dreaming too big, or why can't you just be happy with what you've got now? I mean, it's great to have gratitude for what you have, but there's absolutely nothing wrong for wanting more. And nobody should be able to stand in your way of whatever it is that you want to achieve. So I know it's hard sometimes, because sometimes it might be close family members or even a spouse that might be that person that's, draining in that way. And, we can't always get rid of those people. But if you can minimize your time spent around those types of people, if you can, and just try as much as you can to surround yourself with other really positive, upbeat people that just genuinely want to support you in achieving your dreams. So, hopefully you've got people in your family life that can be those people, but it's also really helpful to seek those people out online or local events or masterminds, things like that. You can even start your own mastermind if there aren't any, available in your area that look cool. You can always think about starting your own. And that's just really, really helpful, especially in those times when you're feeling demotivated. It's great to have someone else to reach out to and just talk about, hey, I really feel like quitting now. Can you give me some advice? And it's just great to have those support systems in your life. So if you can, surround yourself with those people, and that's going to go a long way to helping you reach your goals as well. So that's it. You've got to ask yourself if you really want to achieve what you're trying to achieve. If the answer is yes, you've got to ask yourself why. What is that why? Then you've got to write it down and reconnect with it often, preferably daily. And don't do it alone. Try and find some support systems that you can utilize and that will help support you in your journey, and you in turn can help support them in theirs. Well, there you have it. Now you know how to recapture your motivation by reconnecting with your why so that you can finally make it across the finish line. Now, if you want to find out a little bit more information on low content publishing, you can download my free guide, 3 Steps to Publishing Your First Low Content Book in Less Than a Day, by clicking on the link in the description below. Also, if you'd like to join a like-minded community of fellow self-publishers who are all on this passive income journey together, you can go ahead and join my free Facebook, and I'll leave a link to that in the description below as well. Check out these videos next for a little bit more on mindset and low content publishing in general. And if you like this video, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. Thanks for watching.